Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Accu-Stats Video Productions welcomes you to the 2014 Accu-Stats Make It Happen 8-Ball Invitational. Thanks, everybody. We're coming to you live from the Aramis-Simonis Arena here at Sandcastle Billiards in Edison, New Jersey. This is the 5th edition of the Make It Happen series. It began in 2012 with the inaugural Accu-Stats Make It Happen 8-Ball Invitational. Here we are 2 years later, and we're going around again. We've got 6 of the best players in the world who have been assembled here, chosen both by Accu-Stats and you, our loyal fans, to compete in a round-robin format playing 8-ball. These will be races to 10. Each player will play 5 matches over the 4-day period. At the end of the 4 days of play, the player with the best overall record will be crowned our Make It Happen 8-Ball Invitational Champion. In the event we have 2 players tied for the best record, we will have a 1-match playoff on Sunday night. We'll tell you more about that as that possibility approaches. Before I introduce our players for the first match, I just want to once again say on behalf of Accu-Stats and our 6th grade champions how much we want to thank you and tell you that we appreciate everything that all you loyal fans have done to once again make this happen. Okay, it's now my pleasure to introduce our 2 competitors for match number 1. Our first player, originally from Pontefract, West Yorkshire in the United Kingdom, now resides in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Among this gentleman's long list of accomplishments include 6 appearances on Team Europe for the Mosconi Cup, and he is a former Mosconi Cup MVP. This year alone, in 2014, he is the World 14-1 champion. He won the World Cup of Pool with his partner Carl Boys representing England. He is the 2014 Accu-Stats Make It Happen All-Star Invitational Champion. And it's just a little bit of a unique twist here that his opponent in the very first match is in the record books, along with our first player, for something that happened in 2013 at the World Straight Pool Championship. And I want to mention it right now because it's a historic accomplishment. In the semifinals of the World 14-1 tournament in 2013, these 2 gentlemen drew each other. One player broke, and the next time he got up was to shake hands because this gentleman ran 200 and out, a world record, never been done before, might never be done again. He's sponsored by Strakencloth, Predator, and Diamond. Would you kindly welcome Dynamite, Darren, Appleton. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. His opponent from Tarlac in the Republic of the Philippines. Among this gentleman's long list of legendary accomplishments include a World Pool Masters title, 2 Billiards Digest Player of the Year awards, 2 Derby City World All-Around Championships, and he's the 2010 World 9-Ball Champion. Also in 2010, he was awarded our sport's highest honor with his election to the Billiard Congress of America Hall of Fame. Sponsored by Bear Q's and Puyat Sports, would you please welcome Django? It's Francisco Bustamante. Okay, gentlemen, go ahead and lad for the break. Your referee in charge of this match is Mr. Carswell Ransom. Your official timekeeper is Miss Angel Maracas. Official photographer is Carl Kantrowitz. And now it's my pleasure to send it over to the booth to our own Hall of Famer, Danny DiLiberto.
Accu-Stats Video Production presents the Make It Happen 8-Ball Invitational. Hi, everybody. My name is Danny DiLiberto, and joining us soon is our director, Kenny Shuman. Our first match features Francisco Bustamante versus Darren Appleton. And this is the opening day. Everybody's been waiting for this. 6 of the greatest players in the world. Tough to pick the winner of this tournament.
Danny, you could pick any one of them as the winner and you wouldn't be too far off.
Well, Darren earlier said he'd be happy to win 3 matches.
Yeah.
You know, he's being modest because He's been rated the best 8-ball player now for a few years.
As we get going here, ladies and gentlemen, I will give you the rules of play, but we'd like to at least, let's get one rack under our belts here and get everybody to loosen up a little bit. We'll have 4 matches for you today, as we will for the next 3 days at least. 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and 9 o'clock. Coming up next for you will be Alex Pagulayan and Earl the Pearl Strickland. Darren at the table. The table is open after the break, which means all the object balls are legal object balls except the 8, and he can select his group by shooting any ball into another ball as long as it doesn't strike the 8 first.
Even though he made a ball, it's still open table until he pockets something. That'll decide what group he has.
That's correct, Danny. Excuse me. And since we're just talking about that, too, I'd like to mention that we're using a shot clock, and the shot clock is 90 seconds after the break to give the players an opportunity to observe the layout before they make their decision. Once the groups are established, as they just have been, Darren with solids, the shot clock is now 45 seconds, and there is 1 extension allowed per player per game. The extension will be given to them automatically without them asking for it if their initial shot clock hits 0. And should they be in their extension period and the clock hits 10, they'll get a 10-second warning from the timekeeper.
Well, he chose the low balls, the solids, and there's only one ball that looks like it's going to be a little bit of a problem. I'm sure he'll figure it out. It's the 5 ball. It doesn't even bank.
It doesn't bank, Danny. He's probably going to have to find a way to get on the 2 and then run into the 13 with the cue ball.
Well,
or unless he goes into it now.
Well, here, if he goes into it now...
Well, you go rail first and
it's
then
a gamble.
back out.
It's a gamble,
Oh,
but he
that's
did it very
beautifully
well.
done.
He played that, you know. He only wanted to knock that ball out of the way, so now the 5 is clear.
Yeah, it's almost looking like a tap out from here. Just he's got to bring this back a little bit. He may have to get his extension.
Yeah, he'll have to shoot the 5 now because later he might not get position on it. So right now he's concerned with the 1 ball and the 7.
Well, he's got the 2 next,
yeah.
And his concern here is the angle on the 2 to get down table. He just doesn't want to be jacked up over the 10 or the 13.
Well,
and he's done it nicely.
Yeah, he's got the perfect angle now to go to the 1.
Mm-hmm.
Just make the 2, and you're going to go 1 rail to the 1. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, he could have brushed that and snookered himself. Well, he got a little thin on the 1 ball. He would have liked to have been full, because now he's going to have to take a little bit of a cut on the 7.
I think he might be able to hold it, Dan.
Yeah.
7 ball.
He overhit that one.
Uh-oh. I say uh-oh when it's a bad shot. So now he's in trouble. He's in a lot of trouble here because I don't see a good shot on the 8. And if there's no way to play safe either, I don't think.
If he can hit the 8, Danny, and I think he can graze it, he can maybe send it at the 10 to try to tie those things up. But that's only going to delay the inevitable.
I don't know if he can hit it thin enough to tie up the 10. But what's he looking at? A bank? I don't know if he has a bank. Is he looking at a double bank?
No, you know what I think he's looking at, Danny? Banking the 8 into the rail and then have it glance off of the 12 ball and go in the side. That's what I think
Very
he's
creative.
looking at. Well, I mean, maybe he's just straight kick.
He's going to kick it. The thing about it is you figure to lose the game if you don't make this 8.
Sure.
Because I don't see a safe. Oh, he hit it pretty good, but not good enough. He had to cut it a little more. He sold out the 9, and I'm sure that Bustamante will get rid of these high balls and win the first match.
Yeah, the
First game, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, nothing's tied up. They all go. I just want to go back for a quick second where Darren got out of line on the 8, Danny. It looked like he actually hit the 7 a little thin. And it went to the thin side of the pocket, which sped up the cue ball.
Yeah.
This is brand new cloth and brand new balls. It's pretty slick out there.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. He hit the ball a little too thin, and the cue ball went much further than it would have had he hit it fuller. But I don't like Darren's chances of winning this game anymore.
He doesn't have any chances to win this game. He had the whole. He played the rack beautifully. What a nice shot he made early in the rack to break that 5 ball open.
He did. He played it too.
And he got perfect shape on the 2. I mean, there was nothing wrong with anything except him overcutting the 7 a little bit and still making it.
Well, we're playing alternate breaks. That's one of the rules that Kenny would have brought up. But it's a race to 10, right?
Yes.
Race to 10, alternate break. So losing one game isn't disastrous yet.
No, but it just means it's one game that you got to get back on the other guy's break to kind of even things up. But at this level, this is one mistake pool. You
can't get that game back.
You can't make one mistake and still win. Okay, while Cosmo going to rack the balls up here, let me get the rules down for you. The referee is racking the balls for the players. We are using a special rack. As you can see, he's placing it there. It's similar to a magic rack, but it isn't a magic rack. It's actually from Outsville, I believe. And what will happen is he's going to rack in an alternating pattern around the perimeter of the rack. It'll be solid stripe around the outer edge of the rack. You'll still have 2 balls together, the same grouping, just because of the odd number of balls, but that's basically the set for the rack. And once Cosmo has the balls racked to his own satisfaction, he will then turn the table over to the player. The player may look at the rack, but they have to accept the rack. There are no re-racks going to be allowed unless, for some reason, the 8 ball got accidentally placed in the wrong position.
I like that.
And this is to keep play moving and not ask all of you out there to watch a racking battle. And we think it's going to work out just fine. And the only other provision, of course, is a solid in one corner and a stripe in the other. A legal big break from the kitchen. They can hit any ball first. A legal break requires a ball to be pocketed or 4 object balls to hit the cushions.
And the good thing about this system is everybody will get the same rack.
Correct. Continue the rules in a bit.
Oh, he made a ball. He's got his choice yet, even though he made one group. He's got his choice yet.
I think he's going to have to take the solids because of the 9 ball, Danny, which is to the lower left as the people are looking. That's the only stripe that doesn't have a clean pocket.
Yeah, and he's sitting good on it right now, so you got to get it out of the way and fall on some balls.
Yeah, I think the ball he wants to take care of as soon as he can here is the 1 ball.
Yeah, he's going 2 rails to it right now. I know he isn't. Bad call.
Well, I think he wanted to play the 4 on the side and go to the 1, and it's hard to tell if he's got the angle where he can do that. Well, he could stop there, play the 7 on the other side, but there's several options.
Well, the whole thing here is I think now he'll leave the 1 to get to the 8 if he runs the other 6 balls.
Well, Danny, I thought of that too, but it's such a hard ball to get on. You're kind of putting all your eggs in that basket. You may just roll soft forward here. Nice.
Well,
he's going to need to get a bridge because I don't know that he'll shoot this left-handed.
Oh, I don't think he could reach it even left-handed.
Yeah, he could lean over and reach it left-handed, I think, but I'm not
He's
sure.
gonna-
He usually does not play left-handed to play behind his back, but in this case, this is the correct thing to do.
Well, he played for the 7. It's going to be a little bit tricky falling on the 8
Yeah.
in the end, but that's the only real problem, I think. I think the other 3 balls he'll get rid of after the 7.
Which ball do you like as the ball before the 8?
Well, it's going to probably be the 3 ball.
No, it's going to be the 7. He's playing the 5 now, and he's going to leave the 7.
Oh,
and
he
I
is.
like that. And the reason I like that is look at all the room he's got to get on the 7, and it doesn't matter which angle he has on the 7. If he's straight in, he can play the 8 in the right. If he's got the angle, he can
Yeah.
draw over.
That's a good call.
Very smart thinking here on Francisco's part.
Well, we've never had any problems with his thinking. He plays all games, as do all the Filipino players. He got a little straight here, but I think he's got enough angle to go 1 rail to the 6. Or else he could force it with a center ball, but he's going to have to hit it harder than he would like. Oh, he drew it back. That surprised me. He didn't fall real good on the 6. Because he doesn't have the good angle to fall on the 7 like you called. He needs a good angle on that 7. I think he's going to run into the 9 here.
No, I think he's going to miss the 9. He'll
He
play
is?
the 7 in the side. No, he didn't.
No.
He stayed there. This
Well,
is
he got
workable.
it. He's good angle here.
This is workable.
Yeah, he's going to hit the side rail, hold it for the 8.
Do you think he's going to play the 8 in the same pocket as the 7, or
I
come
think
out
so.
and play
No,
it in the
I
other?
think so.
You
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you were right. He was full enough to do that.
Yeah. Great control. And he looks like he's going to take a 2-0 lead here.
And that out was not as easy as he made it look.
No.
Let me just finish up on the rules here, and we can be done with that, at least for today. So as we said, the table's open after the break. A scratch or a foul on the break is ball in hand behind the head string. Any other foul at any time during the game is ball in hand anywhere. If you make the 8 on the break, you win the game. And if you were to make the 8 on the break and scratch or foul, you don't lose the game. The 8 would be spotted. Your opponent would have the option to shoot from where everything wound up with ball in hand behind the head string, or they could break. And as we said, there's race to 10. We are playing all ball fouls, and it's call ball in pocket, but you don't have to call it if it's not. You don't have to call it if it's obvious. And jump cues are not allowed. If you want to play a jump shot, you must do that with your playing cue only.
Yeah, you can't even do it with your break cue.
That's
It's
right.
got to be the cue you're using to run the balls with.
Right.
I like that.
I do too. And finally, when shooting the 8 ball, if you pocket the 8 and scratch or foul, you lose the game. If you jump the 8 off the table anytime during the rack, you lose the game. If the 8 goes in other than the called pocket, it's loss of game. And if the 8 goes in before your group is cleared, it's loss of game. Any other foul on the 8 ball is just a ball in hand foul. So here we go, rack 3, Dynamite Darren to break.
Oops, that's a no-no. But he has ball in hand now, only behind the head string.
That's correct. And he can only shoot balls that are out of the kitchen. He cannot put the
Right.
ball in the kitchen and shoot the 1. He's got to shoot the cue ball beyond the head string. Well, actually, he's got to make contact with a ball that's beyond the head string.
Well, alternate breaks, you don't want to get behind 3 games
Right.
because it's going to be tough to catch him. You can't run racks with these rules. You can only win 1 at a time.
Yeah. His problem here is if he'd like stripes, but the 15 is tough. That's the ball up there on the upper left long rail. And if he takes the solids, the 3 ball becomes a very difficult ball to access, although the 6 will get him there. I think he might take the solids just because it's easier to get from the 6 to the 3 than to do something with the 15.
Yeah, well, the 15 passes the 1.
Yeah, but you don't want to have to play for a bank when you got the balls like this.
No.
Now, he wanted to play the 6 next, Danny, and
He
then
didn't
clear
get
the
to.
3 in the side, but he came too far.
He's got the 7. 7 passes,
Yeah.
and he'll still have the 6.
Well, he'd have too much angle on the 6 if he plays the 7. He'd have to draw it into the rail and back out to about where it is now. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He wants to be a little less angle on that 6 ball.
He wants to get straight in on the 6 to get to the 3 in the side.
Yeah, he's got to change his route and go probably 2-1-5 now. Watch out, you're not going to shoot the 1 next. Be careful. Well, he's okay. See where he just put his tip is where he wants to be for, I'm going to guess, the 5 ball.
Well, the Filipinos love to point with the cue where they're trying to get for some reason. Well, he got the 5. I believe he's got the 5. He can get straight in on the 6 and get rid of the 3. Where does the 7 go? Goes in one of the corners.
Well, it goes in both sides, too.
It does?
Sure.
Okay, it goes by the 5. Or the other ball. The 5 won't be there anymore anyway.
Now I think he's going to go 7-6-3 because I can't see him getting a good angle on the 3 off the 6 right here.
No, he'll be on the cushion shooting the 3. He don't want to do that.
Correct.
So he can get a little crooked angle on the 6, enough to get off the rail and get good on the 3, and probably the 8 in the side.
It'll have to be 8 in the side. I don't know that it goes in either corner. It may pass the 14.
See, folks, he got this angle so he won't be on the rail.
This was the angle he tried to get 4 shots ago. Move the 14? No, didn't have to.
Pretty good.
Yeah, but
he's over the top.
He's jacked up, and he's pretty much got to stop the cue ball.
Yeah, he's going to have to. He's going to have to jack up a little bit to get it to stop.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to hit any rails here. He might hit the 11 right on the nose. That'll stop it for him.
Yep. You got to hit it full in the face.
Like that.
Good shot. And this will make it 3-0. And this all turned in the first rack when Darren overcut the 7 ball and had a kick at the 8, because you would have assumed Darren was going to win that rack. And
you're right. That changes everything. Changes momentum, changes everything. Now he's behind 3-0.
Right. And you can't string them too well with the alternate break format. You've got to rely on your opponent breaking dry or scratching on the breaker or not getting a good shot. You know, Danny, we could almost call this thing the Hall of Fame 8-Ball Invitational. Of course, you know this, and I think almost all of our listeners do, but just in case, half of this field is in the Hall of Fame. That's Earl, Mika, and Bustamante. And the other 3 guys are going to be in the Hall of Fame as soon as they get to be 40 years old.
You're right.
And that's Darren, Alex, and Shane.
And Mika just got in the Hall of Fame.
Mika was just inducted at the U.S. Open a couple of weeks ago. So this will be his first competition as a Hall of Famer. And very, very deservingly so. He has an incredibly impressive resume, and you'll hear some of that later on during introductions. So here we go, rack 4. One ball.
Yeah. I used to hate that when I played. The last ball rolling
It's always
goes
the
in.
last one. It's always the last one that either goes in, or if you made one, it hooks you.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I think right now he's got to take the solids. He don't have to, but I think it's the best group.
I think it all depends on...
No, he's not going to.
Yeah, I kind of like the stripes. If he could get through there to the 11 right now.
Well, the good thing about that is it was an unmissable shot.
Yeah.
I like the solids a little bit better, but the 9 gets you to the, is that the 4 to 10 or the 12?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
actually, I think he's going to play the 13 next, just a stop shot.
Just to get straight in on the 9.
13, 9, 10,
13,
and then these two stripes, the 14 and the 11, will take him to the 8 ball. You know, these guys have such an innate ability to simply look at the layout, and the calculations are all done in their head, matter of seconds.
Well, I think one of the considerations this time was he didn't have a ball that he could miss when he shot it in the side. And once he started falling on the ball, he got a perfect angle now.
And a lot of times, Danny, in 8 ball, as you know, you wind up actually not taking the group that you really want because the opening shot for that particular group may be in the missable category.
He got a little funny here. I think, is he going to try to draw the ball?
I'd go forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got a little off angle.
Well, he can drag it over and play the 8 where he's standing. I think that's what he's got to do. Just drag it
Which
up
is a
underneath the
trickier.
7, yeah. If he gets to the center diamond on the other side, that's fine.
Don't hit any balls here.
He'll miss the 3. Yeah, center diamond. That's where he was headed. And this is going to put Darren in a deep, deep hole. Track number 4 goes to Django.
And that was a great out.
Danny, when you were in your prime as a player, was there much 8 ball played amongst the pros?
No.
It was mostly straight pool in one
No.
pocket and 9 ball?
8 ball was played in the bars. We didn't have any big 8 ball tournaments, you know. Of course, I won the one 33 years ago in 81. I won the National 8 ball. I got to brag about that. We're on the subject.
Well, you should.
I beat Nick Barner in the finals, which is a good win.
Where was that played at?
Las Vegas.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people may not know this, but coming up next, of course, we've got the mighty Earl. And Earl is a former world 8-ball champion. Everybody knows he's got 5 U.S. Opens and 5 world 9-ball titles. But what people don't know is he has actually 6 world titles, 5 in 9-ball and 1 in 8-ball.
Yeah, he's been a great competitor over the years. He's only 53, and it seems like he's been here forever.
Well, he's been front and center in the pool scene for the past 30 years at least.
Well, Darren, you better win this one.
Well, he made a ball, excuse me, which was the first thing he needed to do.
Look
And
at,
I think he's got no choice, Danny. He's got to shoot the 1 and break the 8 open. He's still going to have problems with solids,
yeah.
but I don't think he's got a stripe he can pocket.
No, he doesn't. And he still has to deal with the 7. It's not an easy layout.
Oh, heck no.
And like you say, I think you got to be very optimistic and break out the 8 right now because you're not going to get too many chances. Mm-hmm. That's what he did, and it's straight pool because he knew he was going to have the 3 ball.
Right, he had the insurance ball, and I like what he's setting up for now, too. Will be eventually 1 rail at the 5 and the 6, 5 and the 4. He's got to open that up. See,
Yeah.
he's got a great angle to do it now by shooting the 6, but then that leaves the 3 there, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but it just give him more travel, and he's still got the 7 to deal with.
Yeah, that's going to be a big issue there. Of course, if it came necessary, he could always play safe off the 7 and get ball in hand somehow. But right now, he'd like to hit him. But he still has 2 balls to work with that are troubled.
I believe he's going to shoot the 4 and break the 5 out. And hopefully he'll be able to use the 5 or the 2 to open the 7.
Oh, does he have the 6?
I think
that
so.
That was his insurance ball.
Yeah, he does.
Is he looking to shoot the ball off the 7 after the 6?
Yeah, I think so, Danny.
That's what he's looking at.
Because if he does that and stops, he's got the 2. That's his insurance ball. So yes, this is positioned for the 5 to play glanced off the 7 and stop. But he has to hit it with a fairly decent clip to make sure the 7 and 11 separate.
Well, he got close enough to do it, but he's not going to have the perfect angle on the 2 if all goes bad off the 7.
It's hard to sight this with back cutting it. I wonder if he is straight enough on the 2 to drag the cue ball into that 11 and then have the 5 as insurance.
That might be the better shot. It looks like he's got the angle on the 2 to go into those 2, and he does have the insurance, like you call it.
Yeah, I think maybe it's too thin on the deuce. What do you?
No, I don't think so.
You think he can?
I think he can do it.
Well, it looks like he's not.
Yeah, he's going to do it.
No, he's queuing up to play the 5 off the 7.
Well, then you got to hope you get a shot.
Well, this is better. It's close to straight at the portion of the 7 he needs to hit, but at least the sighting of the shot lays much better for a right-handed player cutting that way than the prior position of the cue ball.
But where does the 7 go? You know, that could be a problem here. It ain't automatic.
No, but Danny, I believe the 7 is going to stay in that side of the table and somewhere no further up than maybe where the 5 is, maybe even to the side pocket, because the 7's going to hit the 11. That's going to slow it down a little bit, and there's no other balls on that right-hand half of the table to get in the way of the 7.
It's still a gamble that he has to take.
Well, it is, but he has no choice. He can't win the game unless he does this.
Let's see where the 7 goes. Yeah, he don't feel real good about this.
One of the things you've got to take care of here, too, is how you cue the cue ball, because it puts the opposite effect on the 5 for the glance.
Well, let's see. This could go astray. It could go astray.
He got a nice reward for a well thought out and well played shot.
You shoot this in the side and you go right on the 8.
Yeah, I think he can draw the cue ball kind of at the 15.
Well, I think he got a little fortunate there because everything was flying around. Yeah. He's got a perfect angle now to fall on the 8 if he pockets the 7, which he did. Now he's over the top. This was not an easy layout, but he's going to get through it.
Should give him 2 games for that out.
Yeah, that was a good out, especially when you're losing 4-0.
Yeah, if he doesn't win that game, he probably has no chance in the match. Now he's at least got a ray of hope. He feels better about himself. And we'll see where that might take him.
Yeah, that was a very good out. But it seems like when you're way behind, your opponent has easy layouts and yours aren't. It's only mental, but that was not an easy layout.
No, he had to open up two different clusters, and
And shoot a
Both-
ball off another ball.
right, and both very difficult in approach and execution.
Yeah, the 7 didn't have to stop perfectly like that. But that's over, and he got through it.
Mr. Bustamante?
Well, Darren needs some help here on this break, because if he happens to be able to get to the table and take this one, he'll be breaking in the next with a chance to at least get to 4-3. But if Francisco wins this rack and goes 5-1 up, I think it's going to be very tough.
Well, part 1 for
Nothing
Darren.
yet.
Yeah,
Nothing yet.
part 1 for Darren.
You know, that,
Didn't make a ball.
yeah, and the 13 was about to drop in the side, and a ball prevented it from doing so.
Well, I think you got to take the solids here.
Yeah, I mean, there's just too many stripes that don't have pockets.
Plus, your first shot is pretty easy. Yeah,
I might shoot the 5 ball first. Bump into the 11 or the 12 there with the cue ball, whatever ball that is. I don't like shooting the 2 here.
You don't?
I don't.
I think
I
he
like the
can roll
5.
it in.
I like the 5. I
Well,
think the
so
2,
does he.
Yeah, I think the 2's a good ball to give you more chances to get elsewhere. There was no need to take that 2 out right there.
One ball.
And now the only ball that he's got any, difficulty is the 4. And if it goes in the lower left corner here, then he has no difficulties.
Well, the 8's not sitting real good either if he runs the balls.
2 ball.
I guess the 7 goes inside.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to hit the 3 with it, though.
No. If the 6 will pass in the lower left, he'll be able to get on the 8 without too much difficulty.
Doesn't look like he's got a full pocket, but
I'd shoot the 4, then the 3, get straight in on the 6, follow up.
yeah, that'll do it. He don't have to worry about
Right.
the 8.
I mean, he's right there on the 4. It looks like it goes. It's basically a stop shot, maybe back a half a ball.
Well, I guess it goes it goes past the ball. 6, that is.
Just needs to maintain the correct angle.
Straight is the angle. That's pretty good.
6 ball. Eight ball, corner pocket. Mr. Appleton.
Well, like you said, he's got a chance to get within 1 just because it's his break now.
Score is now 4-2 in favor of Mr. Bustamante.
excuse me, when we get underway with our next match, we'll pass along to you this evening's matchups for 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. The way the format works out is over 4 days, each guy plays 5 matches. So one day of the 4, a player will play twice. Each player will play once on 3 days and twice on another day. And I don't know who our players are that are playing twice today. But we'll let you know all of that when we get into the next afternoon match.
Watch out.
Boy, you hit those nice and square.
Well, he made a ball.
Well, I like the solids here, Danny, starting with the ball in front of the side. I think it's the 5. Every solid has a pocket. The 7 goes once the 3's out of the way. He could start with the 3 as well and then play the 5.
Yeah, he can go one rail.
Yeah, the only ball that's got one pocket for him is the 6. It's at the pocket he just was standing in front of. That's the only place the 6 goes. It'll go up in the upper right once the 1's gone, but you don't want to play it there. Ooh, watch out.
Oh, you don't want to hit balls.
Oh, boy.
Oh, that was disaster. Possibly.
Well, if he can't make the 5 in the side, he's got a little trouble here. I think he can.
Yeah. That's what I tell people. When everything goes, don't hit anything because you could only make it worse. I guess he's got the ball on the side, and he's looking at the 6 next. Good idea.
Yeah, if you can get to the 6, now's the time. You don't want to leave that for your last ball. It's too hard to get on.
He's planning that.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh is right. I don't know if he can make the 6.
He can't. He's got to shoot the 1 now. Maybe the 7, but he can't shoot the 6. It was the correct thing to do to try to get to it. He might have just hit the 5 a little off center, which threw the cue ball into the 8. Nevertheless, he cannot shoot the 6 ball.
Well, I think you got to shoot the 1. I don't want to hit the 7 and hit that ball near it.
I agree with you.
Got to play the 1. You don't want to hit anything anymore. They all go. Just fall on where they pass.
Does that solid pass the stripe up there in the upper left now? Does that 4
I
pass?
think it does. I think it does. But
he could go to the 6 right now, or he could go to the 7.
Yeah, he got the perfect angle on the 7 now where he don't even have to worry about that 4 passing. He can play the 4 in the other corner and fall on the 2.
No, I don't. Can he? Look at the screen. I don't know if he can play the 4 in the other corner.
You don't think so?
I don't know. It just looks.
It's close. Well,
looks tight.
It looks just as good in the same pocket he's going to shoot the 7. He can shoot it right now, in fact. As long as it goes, he could shoot it.
Do you risk trying to get to the 6 now?
No. I think you go to the 7.
I think you go to the 6, and the 7's your insurance if you don't get there. And that's what he was trying to do, Danny.
Yeah,
he just didn't get far enough. But I like the approach. I think that was a good two-way opportunity.
Yeah.
But now
it's
it's getting harder and harder now.
I like getting on the 7, 1 rail to the 2, and then 1 rail to the 6 off the 2. But 8-ball has a lot of paths you could take.
And they change throughout the game, just like straight pool.
Yeah, especially if you hit balls. He's looking to shoot the 6. Well, I don't know about this. If you don't get the good angle on the 7, you're not going to get to the 2.
That's
That's a good shot.
He got the angle,
Yeah.
too. He's going to have to pound this, but he's got the angle.
Well, I don't know if everybody got to see it. We had a good angle. We're right behind that pocket. He actually hit the 6 to the inside part of that pocket to make sure his cue ball would avoid the stripe and avoid scratching. So there was a lot to that shot, and he did it as good as you can.
It became a tricky rack, but it looks like he's got a chance to get through it and come within one game. He pockets so well.
Mr. Appleton.
Well,
He did what he needed to do.
he did. He sure did. And Bustamante, with a comfortable lead, all of a sudden is not comfortable. He's lost 3 in a row now with alternate breaks. That's tough to do.
Darren lost 4 in a row before that. One was due to a dry break, one was due to a scratch on the break, and the other one he shot himself in the foot when he hooked himself on the 8.
Well, that's the whole thing, shooting yourself in the foot. Bustamante didn't do anything wrong to lose 3 in a row.
Other than break dry.
Break dry, but we can't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
But Darren made some mistakes to get behind. However, it's a new match now. Bustamante better run out here, or he can get a game behind.
right.
Because I like to give the breaker that game, you know.
Well, you have to
with the
assume
rules.
so.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they do in bowling when they calculate your score. They assume a strike in the next frame, right, to determine how many pins you're being, ahead or behind of your opponent. When you see the pro bowlers throw on TV, they're always assuming a strike. So it's similar here. We're assuming a win for the breaker.
I don't like to talk about bowling because the ball's too heavy.
And
I
the
get
cue ball
tired.
and the cue ball has holes in it.
It does. Not for everybody.
Oh, he hit him really nice.
Yeah, he made a ball.
He made 2 or 3 balls.
But right now, I think he might have to take the stripes.
There's nothing wrong with taking stripes.
There's nothing wrong with either group.
Well, the only thing wrong with solids is your opening shot is not automatic. I mean, he's right there in front of the 3 if he wanted that, but there's no reason to not do what's sitting right in front of you, obvious.
You're right.
It's really a question of what he wants to do with the 15 ball. He could drag the cue ball down the rail to play it in the side right now, which I kind of like.
I think that's the shot.
I wouldn't worry about that 14 that's next to his hand.
Got to go to the side on the 15.
Beautiful. Nice stroke.
It is. Because now he can go to the next ball because of the angle he's got on the 15.
Ball.
Bump the 1 and shoot the 10 next. Yep.
Well, he got a little bit of an angle on the 10.
Well, that's where the 14 will bail him out if he needs it. It's also hard to tell whether this 11 goes in this pocket cleanly, but he can get the 13 out of there early enough to clear it.
Well, going on the 14 right now will be tough to get to another ball after the 14.
Miscued. He miscued.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah. His only temporary salvation is that the 8 is very tough to get to playing solids. The 1 ball would be the best ball to get to the 8.
Depends on the angle. The 8 goes in the side. But
well, still, how are you going to get on the 8 in the side if you don't do it off the 1 ball?
No, that's the only way.
Right. So I think he's got to start here, certainly shooting the 7, possibly the 3.
And right now, Darren's got to feel pretty good.
Oh,
Guy
yeah.
miscued.
Well, Darren's not supposed to be out of his chair, this rack, the way the balls were laying, and after Francisco's nice opening shot, he's going to look at the 8 now, just have a good look at it.
Well, he could knock the 8 clear if he shoots the 1 and knocks the 15 out of the way, because he's going to have position.
The ball in front of the 8? Yeah, I see it's the 11, but...
It's the 11, yeah. Knock it out of the way, you'll have the 3,
Right.
and there's no more problems with the 8. That's what he's going to do. Well, I would have hit it fuller, or tried to.
Nothing wrong with what he just did. He's got plenty of space now to access the 8 ball.
Yeah. Yeah, I imagine he'll run out here.
Having become such a world-class straight pool player in a relatively short period of time, I mean, Darren didn't play straight pool, I think, till, maybe the occasional game here and there, but his first venture into pro-level straight pool was in 2008.
Well, in England, he played 8-ball.
He played English 8-ball on the small table with the small balls, but in 2008, he entered the Derby City Straight Pool Challenge. He didn't even know the rules, and he won the tournament. Beat guys like Niels and Mika and Schmidt. But since then, he has become, I would say, top 3. Well, I'm saying in this country because he lives here most of the time.
Mr. Appleton was the
Now he
But
can
he's
take the lead.
He's a world-class straight pool player,
score is now 4-4.
and it's that ability that has helped him here, as we just saw, bumping into a ball. He knows what's going to happen.
Well, I always say it, 8-ball is similar to straight pool, because instead of falling on a break shot, you're falling on the 8, and you got to play the patterns to do that. And it's similar, very similar.
Right, the ball before the 8, analogous to
Right.
the key ball before the break shot in straight pool.
Yep. He pockets so well. Well, Bustamante, he doesn't look real happy right now.
Yeah, his 4-0 lead is gone, and he's in danger of falling behind.
See how
But-
contradictory it is? I mean, you figure 4-0 lead with alternate breaks, you're in good shape. But he's not.
Yeah.
So that can happen. Whatever got you behind 4-0 could get you even.
Well, no matter what happens here, he's got to control the cue ball.
Yeah, you got back in this match.
That's right.
Don't blow it now.
He did. And he made a ball.
All right. You don't have an easy shot now for your... I think you got to take the stripes. You got a shot at the 15. You got to take the stripes.
Oh, you got to take the
I
stripes.
mean, that's
the
the
11,
11.
11 in the
That's the
side.
11.
Every other stripe has a pocket, but the thing is, he's got to clear the 15 ball to have a pocket for the 9
Yeah, that's the big
and
problem
the 12.
here.
Although if they do go in the side, and he can also play the 9-15 combination, which looks fairly straight if he gets good on it.
Well, the thing about this is, if you had a shot at the solids, you would have to take the solids right now, but he doesn't have a good shot at them. Actually, the solids a better group right here.
They are a better group, but as we
But
were saying
you don't have a
before, he doesn't have an easy opening shot on the solids. And,
Unless he wants to shoot the 7.
I think you're putting the whole game on that shot.
Well, if you shoot the 11, you're going to hit balls. You're liable to tie things up.
Well, if you hit it slow, you're just going to bump into the 2 and stay right about there. You'd have the 14 at least as insurance.
I'll tell you what, he's looking at the 7.
You think so?
Yes.
7.
Yes, because
Yeah.
if he makes the 7,
Yeah.
this game is over.
No, you called it right, Danny. Let's see how he does.
Well, he pockets so well. Look at this. He fell on the 4. He's got the combination. He's got his choice here, but if he shoots the 4, it's going to be a little tricky to hold it
He's
for
not
the
going to
6.
shoot the
No,
4.
he's not.
I think he's going to shoot the combination and clear those 3 balls that are down there.
Yeah, he'll
and
be
then,
okay.
And then use the 2 to work down to this end of the table because the 8's just sitting in front of the pocket.
Well, he can do a number of things here. He could shoot the 2 first and get better on the combination, because the combination, if you get straight on it, you can hold the 3 for the next shot and then go to the 1. So I like shooting the 2 first. Try to get a little straighter.
This is pretty dead. The 3 isn't going to move. It's going to hit the 5 and stay right there.
I still would shoot the 2 first.
Well, the only reason I think he did it the right way is I like using the 2 to get down here for these other balls, or to transition to them regardless of which pocket you decide.
Well, this is where he is now, so we don't have to think about that
Nope.
anymore.
I think it might be 1-2 and leave the 3 for the ball before the 8. Well, he overhit it.
Well, he can get on the 4 with a pretty full angle to hold it for the 6. I don't think he wants to go back and forth. That's what he's looking at.
Well,
Fall on the 4 now, and you'll get on the 6. But we're talking about stuff you could do either way. I'm trying to find the best way.
And I'm sure he as well has looked at all the possibilities, and before he makes his choice, he'll prioritize them.
Oh, you're not going to try to go between the balls now, are you?
Maybe that's
what he's looking
maybe
at.
that's the way the 2 is laying naturally, just a little bit of high left and spin at
Well,
it.
let's
If
see.
I'm going to do that, I'm going to try to hit the 15. I'm going to try to shoot that gap. Watch out.
That's an angle we didn't see.
Nope.
I never would have drew the ball on that shot. But he didn't get real good here.
I think he's fine. He's going to play the 5 in the other corner. And then the 3.
You think so?
Absolutely.
He's got to get positioned for that.
Just going to float to the diamond and bounce off.
Okay, let's see. Well, he didn't get good on it.
Sure he did.
Oh, he got a little thinner
He's
than
going to
he
draw.
wanted.
He's
Yeah.
going to draw it straight at the 3 ball.
Or go to the rail, or he's
No,
going
it's
to
a
go
stun.
forward.
It's
No,
a stun, Danny.
he's going forward.
No, he isn't.
Okay, he had an angle. He had the center ball.
Well, Boosty won the first 4 racks. Darren's won the last 5 racks. Alternate break.
I got to tell you this. Billy is more fun to argue with than you.
Yeah, and I didn't want to take that pleasure away from you by, trying to be controversial up here or disagree with you, because you wouldn't have much left for Billy.
Okay, you can stretch your legs.
But anyway,
Take a little break.
at least we could see that you could have done different things and got to the win anyway. But we can't doubt Darren. We will be right back, folks.
All right, everybody, we are back and ready to resume play. Darren with a 5-4 lead in a race to 10, our opening match of the 2014 Make It Happen 8-Ball Invitational. Ken Shuman sitting alongside Hall of Famer Danny DiLiberto and Django breaking rack 10.
Yeah, he needs to win this one desperately.
Made a ball.
Oh, They're tied up a bit. Now you got to put on your thinking hat. Don't hit anything. Cosmo, beautiful. Well, this is the opposite of what we were talking about. He was winning 4-0, Bustamante. Now he's losing 5-4, and the layouts got tougher.
Well, you got to take stripes because the 10 will help you open the 8-13. Maybe it's a 12, but nevertheless, whatever ball that is next to the 2.
Nothing easy here.
No, but I do see something here. And I think he may, I don't know if he's going to try it now, but Danny, he could use the 10 to get behind this group of 3 and play that stripe up where he's standing. And the 8 passes in the lower left.
And the stripe you're talking about is the 12?
Yeah, the ball next to the 2 and the 8 goes up in the upper left corner.
Yeah,
and the 10 will get him there. And I think he's playing for the 9. Nicely done. Because I don't see now, with this few stripes left on the table, that he wants to risk going into the 8 and the stripe cluster off the 10. I think he wants to play to get behind it, but
well,
he may try to drag right into it and open it up.
I want to tell you, I wouldn't even try to hit it.
I wouldn't either. I'd play to get behind it.
I'd go to the side pocket. He's got a chance to do that. I don't know about hitting it.
Well, you know, I think he's got a little flat to get behind it. He's looking now.
It looks like it passes in the corner and maybe in the side.
No, it won't go in the side. The 8's in the way.
You don't think so?
No, the 8's in the way.
No, the other side.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
I think the 2's in the way.
Well, hitting it, you're gambling.
No, this
He
was the
went
play.
in the corner.
Ho, needs to stop.
Yeah, he got a little funny.
Yep. It was the right way to play it. I absolutely agree with it. And he's got no choice now. He's got to shoot.
I like that.
He's got to shoot.
You got to fall on the balls where they pass. Your game will get way better if you do that instead of trying to hit things that are clustered. Now, if he could pocket this position on the 8, he's going to have to come around, I think, 3 rails. You don't want to hit the 2.
I don't think he can avoid missing the 2.
Oh, I do.
Do
I
you?
think if he whacks it, he'll go 2 rails without hitting.
I think he's going to use the 2 to help slow the
I don't
cue
think
ball
so.
down.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, he hit it, but that was the disaster there.
Yep.
Well, he could forget this one. Yeah, I didn't like hitting it. I think he could have drew past it and gone 3 rails to the 8, but
He might have felt that he was going to hit it thicker.
yeah, he hit it, went right in the corner pocket.
And it was, I'll tell you how close he came to not scratching, too, because he actually undercut the stripe just a little bit. It did go in, but it kind of caught the point going in, which means he undercut it. Had he overcut it a little more, he'd have caught the 2 thinner. Maybe he wouldn't have scratched.
And the whole error was not falling on that ball real well. He had to do something funny. Well, everything passes, so Bustamante can't be feeling good about winning this game.
No.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's almost stop here.
It is. Yeah, we're looking at something unusual. He can win 6 in a row. I don't think the rest of the tournament anyone will win 6 in a row. Not with alternate break. Oh, behind the back shot.
No, I don't think so.
Forget it, he said.
Yeah. Play for the 4 next in the same pocket. No, he was wanting to hold it. See, I didn't like doing that because there's a
Because
chance of getting straight. I
right.
think he's all right because it's close enough to the pocket, but I would have come around and played that.
I like your shot better.
And because the 7 lays real good to get to the 8. I mean, not that this is difficult.
Kenny, these guys are lucky you weren't in this tournament. Oh, look he got thin. He might have to go to the side now. 1 rail to the side.
I like 3 rails around the 8.
I don't. I like 1 rail to the side. So does he.
8 ball.
You were right, sir.
Well, only because 3 rails are a little tougher speed than 1. Isn't that brilliant?
Mr. Appleton wins the
6 in a row.
game. The score is now 6-4 in favor of Mr. Appleton.
If I'm not mistaken, ladies and gentlemen, as I've told you, we got Alex and Earl on deck. And I believe our 7 o'clock match will be Mika and Shane, because they will be the last of the 6 that hadn't played yet. And then coming back tonight at 9 o'clock, I believe it's Darren and Pa. I think it might be Alex. I'm not positive. Again, I'll verify that
But
for you.
anyway, Shane and Mika are the only 2 players we haven't seen yet.
Okay, I got confirmation. It is Darren and Alex at 9 p.m. And Mika and Shane at 7.
I'll tell you, you're pretty important in any field if you only have to hear your first name. There are no other Alexes that play at championship level.
Oh, he hit that bad. He didn't hit him square. He got lucky. Did you see the cue ball glance right off to the side there?
Yeah.
He got fortunate that he made a ball.
Look at this. Everything goes.
Yeah, what do you start with?
I
You're
think
gonna have
you
to
got to
shoot the
start.
4 ball.
Yeah, you got to play the 4 and fall on the 2.
I think I just, well, yeah. I'm just seeing if
You're
he's
not
got the angle to come over, hit both short rails, and then get the 6 out of there.
Well, again, you could do it a bunch of different
Right.
ways. I like going to the 2 next.
Well, I kind of do too, but I'd like to be close to the 2 ball.
Well, he's not going to be far away. Well, let's see what he decides.
Well, the other thing he's got to be careful here, Danny, is if he wants to cue this with a low right cue ball, the 9 may not impede that, but it's a visual obstruction. You know, you've got to kind of just give it a little extra attention.
He might want to get the 6 out of the way next.
He may be going to the 7 with a firm stroke. Yeah, I like this better, 7 or the 1.
Yeah, he's fine. Good choice there, but I think you shoot the 3. I think you shoot the 3 right now.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you could do it different ways. I like shooting the 3 first. That looks like the easiest layout.
Yeah, but with this group of 5 solids down there, he probably is going to wind up, not that he'd want to, but he may have to leave the 2 as the last of those 5, and then that makes getting on the 6 a little tougher.
Well, now
I know
he's
he
looking
doesn't
to
want
shoot
to-
the 1.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to leave the 2 there very long, but he's got to be able to transition from that to something else. So he may be going 1-5.
Nothing wrong with this.
Yeah. He's thinking about the ball before the 6. What ball does he want to shoot before the 6, and how does he want to get there?
Well, I leave the 6 last.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But what's the ball before the 6 out of the remaining solids?
Well, I wouldn't leave the 2 there much longer. I think you might want to get the 2 out of there right now. You got a free shot at it. If you don't get there, you got the 3. But I like getting the 2 out of there right now. So does he.
Yeah. He's going to have to reach a bit for this.
You're right. He's not a basketball player. And we're playing fouls on everything, so you don't want your clothes to touch anything. It's a foul.
He's going to get his cue extender. Doesn't really need much more than that for this.
Two balls going to pocket.
He doesn't want to hit that 10 ball. Let's come right out cleanly. This ain't bad either.
Yeah, as long as the 7 passed the 3, that was a nice, safe way to go about it.
7 ball.
Yeah.
Going to have to draw into the 10 here to stop the cue ball.
Yeah, you want a pretty good angle on the 3. He's got that. He's trying to see where he wants to get on the 6 now.
Yeah, anywhere on that line that he just laid down his cue will be fine. Nice.
Yeah, now he can go 1 rail to the 8.
Mm-hmm.
Little right-hand English, go 1 rail.
8 ball.
From 4-0 down to 7-4 up.
Who would have guessed that?
Score is now 7-4.
Well, I mean, it's a matter of three errors by Francisco that converted to 3 games for Darren. Darren, on his break, did what he needed to do for those 4 racks, but 2 dry breaks from Boosty and a miscue.
The miscue really hurt him.
It was big because that was the
It's
tie.
2 games.
That was the game to tie it up.
Yeah.
It's sure nice to see all these familiar faces here again, sitting the ringside. Danny, these have been just our,
Yep.
you know,
Every time we have a tournament.
the best group of people you could ever want is your loyal supporters, and we appreciate all the ones that have been with us from the first Make It Happen show, and everybody that's joined us since. Without you, this stuff does not get done.
Yeah. A lot of familiar faces.
He can't afford to drop another game here. He's got to get this rack. Cue ball got kicked up here, but that's not that bad.
Well, he's got to take the stripes. I believe. Might have to use the bridge to do it. He's over the top, but he's got to take the stripes.
Yeah, I think he can reach the 11, and I think the 12 passes if he can drag underneath
Yeah,
it.
he can go one rail and shoot the 12 in the same pocket.
Yep.
Oh, he didn't want to hit that ball.
I think he did. I think he absolutely
I
wanted to
wouldn't.
hit it to get it out of the way because he wanted to put a firmer stroke on it.
Yeah, he put it in the way now. Now the 9 doesn't go in that pocket.
He's going to shoot the 9 right now, Danny.
Well, he better, because he ain't going to fall on it any better than this. Yeah, I wouldn't have hit that ball.
Yeah, I like shooting the 9 right now. I actually like saving the 15 as my last ball. I like to get straight in on that and then shoot
Yeah.
the 8 in the side where the cue ball is. But the 9 now will take him to either the 12 or the 13.
Yeah.
Going to have to put maybe a little inside on it or go 2 rails around the 6. Ooh.
Oh, you hit that ball now. He's still okay, but not perfect.
Yeah, he's eating up a lot of real estate out there, though, with the leaves, because now he's got to miss the 7, which he's going to be able to do, but he doesn't, he may be coming right at the 8 ball here off the second rail. And he needs to hit it firm enough to see the other stripe. He's done that.
Yeah.
And now he should be fine. You're just going to slow roll this in, bounce 3-4 inches off the cushion, and he'll be able to see the 10. First straight into the 15.
Yeah, I think he's got to draw it 2 rails now. To go, you want to be straight in on the 15, you got to go 2 rails. Perfect.
15 ball.
Ooh, it trickles.
8 ball, side pocket.
Well, he looks like he's going to stop the bleeding finally. And now, although it's 7-5, it's Darren's break. And Darren's been breaking well the last 3 or 4 times.
In favor
Yeah.
of Mr. Appleton.
When we had the brief time out there before both the guys were out front and I stepped out for a minute, I wanted to ask them if they were satisfied with how the balls are being racked, and they both were. They said it's fine. So I'm glad that our rack that we got from Chris is working from Outsville. Thank you very much. And as you've been able to see, at least so far, the guys are taking a quick look at the rack and they're going to break. So once again, I want to applaud the procedure put in place here by Pat for this event. So we don't have to devote any of the valuable time we have to racking wars and this and that. Quick look, they're fine. When you come back from the deficit Darren had and you catch the guy, I mean, at that point you feel so good about yourself, and then he's just been brimming with confidence ever since that. Making a ball regularly now on the break.
Need another one. Oh, look at this layout.
Well, it's really all a question of, does the 6 pass in the lower left after Cosmo gets out of the way? Move the 6. That's okay. I think he's got it back. I think it needs to get closer to the 8 and closer to Darren. And the 8's got to that way, yeah. I think the 6 went.
I think it goes. I think you got to take the solids.
I would shoot. I'd shoot the 7 now, then the 6, draw back, get out there, go down table, take the 5 and the 1, and leave the 3 for last. The 2-3 for last. I mean, that's just a quick first glance. It just seems that he's got natural position to get to the 6 from the 7, so maybe he'll take the 5 and the 1 first, get this, and then don't have to worry about going back down table.
Yeah,
And
there's
you'll
no
minimize your
problem.
cue ball travel. You'll stay all up
Yeah.
on this side.
7 gets to the 6 wherever you shoot it.
Right.
Don't want to hit any balls now.
Looks like he's got a nice gap there between the 12 and the 9 to float through. I think what he's more trying to decide is what angle do I want on the 6 and what am I going to do next? If the 2 goes by the 3, he can come 2 rails around.
I think it does.
I think it does too, Danny.
Yeah. Just don't hit any balls. Well, he's going to shoot the 2 right now. See
Maybe
this-
he's going to play 2, 3,
7,
7,
6.
6. Right.
7 in the side. 7 in the side.
Sure, depending on where he gets. I mean, but
Well, he's going to get perfect. That's it. He's going to have a good angle on the 7 to fall on the 6 perfectly without hitting the 8. Oh, I wouldn't shoot the 7 now.
I think he was just looking for the angle.
The angle he wants to get. Tough to get the wrong angle here.
Right about where it is now. That's a little too much angle.
Yeah, he got a little thin. I think he can kill it, though. I think he can hit it soft enough to hold it up.
Darren wants cue ball cleaned. He felt it might have got away from him there a little bit.
Good
but,
idea.
Even if he's a little, he's thin there like we think, he could just hit this with a high ball and bounce out 6, 8 inches and just take the cut on the 6.
Yeah, he's
He
going to...
doesn't have to, he's not going to be able to get right straight at it this way.
Oh, he'll be full enough.
Right. A little bit of center right here. Spin at it. He can do that. Maybe just a tad below center,
Yeah,
but
he's
not
only
much.
going 2 inches to the pocket, so
Right.
that was no problem. Now he can draw right back and shoot the 8 in the same pocket, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he did.
It's just so impressive to see the pattern play and how the shot selection has been almost impeccable. And at this level, their decision making is just so it's so high level. Tell you the big turnaround, of course, we had the early turnaround in the match, but in the last 30 or 40 minutes or less, the big turnaround was when Francisco came behind that little cluster with the stripe and the 8 and the 2, and he wound up scratching off of the 2 in the corner there.
Yeah, he didn't fall good on the ball in the corner,
And that was,
and that was disaster.
right.
Of course, we can't bury him yet because you never know what can happen. We're talking about great players.
We thought Darren was, had 1 foot in the grave with dirt being thrown on him at 4-0. And he's won 8 of the last 9 racks.
What kind of dirt? Any kind?
Cosmo. Thank you. I was trying to get Cosmo's attention to tell him he needed to put a
got
solid
his
in one
attention,
corner there.
you
Well,
almost-
actually, Darren got him.
Yeah.
He wasn't. He couldn't hear me through the booth.
You did it, but you almost broke our glass. But that's okay. All in the call of duty.
Listen, maybe that's how we can get a new piece of glass. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh is right. Uh-oh. All he made there was noise.
Well,
Still trouble.
that 715 is a little bit of an issue. I would probably take stripes here because the 11 will help me open the 715. I think I might start with the 12 ball right there.
Yeah, he does have an insurance ball going into those. You know, the 9 is hanging.
Right, exactly. But he doesn't have the angle to do it now.
No, he'll fall on it.
Well, maybe he is going there now, but I don't like the way he would be going into it this way. Well, he decided to drag it into the 7.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
15 passes both corners.
Well, he's got solids.
Oh,
He made the one to
solid.
open the 7, and the
Yeah,
4
he did.
the 4 will get him to the 7, but he's not going to do that now. He's going to shoot the 3 or the 2.
Still got work to do.
Yeah. I wonder if that 5 ball will sneak under the 9 here. It certainly will off the cushion. But you'd like to have a nice juicy insurance ball if you were going to do that. I can't tell if it passes the 10 in the, what's the easy pocket. But he doesn't seem to be too concerned with it.
I think you got to go to the 4, then the 7. That's what he's going to do right now, I believe.
Yeah, which means that the 5 will go past the 9, and the 6 will get him there. And
Yeah.
he would leave those as his last 2. And maybe the 5 goes by the 10, so it's really irrelevant as long as it has one of those corner pockets.
He's got to get straight in on the 6. Fine, he's got perfect angle to get off the rail.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to be shooting the 5 and having to worry about running into the 10 with the cue ball.
I don't think that'll matter because the
'Cause
8
the 8's
goes
right
in
there in the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can hit
Yeah.
the 10.
Uh-oh, he missed it.
You're right. He jumped up.
He tried to kind of steer the cue ball a little bit there, Danny, and hold his
He
angle.
steered his wallet. That's what he did.
Because if he made that ball, that cue ball is not going to be where it is. It would have been traveling faster and further because of the thinness of the cut.
Well, Bustamante's got to feel good because Darren was going to get on the hill.
10 ball.
Exactly. Nice camera shot there, guys. Thank you. You can clearly see that the 10 will go.
Got to go to the 14 right now. He played it off the rail like you called earlier. Yeah.
Well, I think that was to help him get to the 14, Danny.
Mm-hmm. He got good on it. Oh, why are you going to shoot the 9 now?
I think this is okay.
Oh, it's okay.
I mean, why leave it there?
Yeah, well, look where he got.
I got where he
Rail to
wanted.
rail. Yeah, he got where he wanted, all right. He's on the rail. No problem.
11 ball.
Well, Boosty has a chance to get within 1 if he can get out.
No, he'll be within 2
2. Yeah.
and breaking. I think he's breaking.
Yeah.
No.
He just broke. So it's Darren's break.
would have liked another revolution.
Yeah, he would like to get straight in because he's got a little work yet, but I still rather be shooting.
Yeah.
Nice confident run out.
If you look at the top of the screen, and when we get back to it, you can see it here too, right next to their little player face icons in the circles there, the 0-0. That's going to represent their one-loss record throughout the next 4 days. So you'll know where they stand as they enter their match. You know, the very first Make It Happen event was an 8-ball invitational. That was in 2012.
And Darren won that, didn't he?
No, Alex won that,
Alex won that
in
one.
a playoff against Darren. They both tied with the best record. I believe they were both 4-1.
It's coming back to me.
And then they had a one-match playoff, which Alex won. And then when we had the All-Star Make It Happen, and we brought back the 3 champions, Alex was unavailable. He was out of the country. He couldn't come. And Darren took his place because he was runner-up. And Darren wound up winning the All-Star Invitational. Darren's had a great year this year. Eight-six.
Well, he has another chance to get on the hill.
He's making that second ball on the side almost every time now. Oh boy, is this pretty.
Well, he's got to shoot the 6, I believe.
I think it depends on whether he can make the 1 without too much difficulty. It looks
No,
pretty.
you lose the cue ball.
Yeah, well, I don't think you lose the cue ball, but
I think you got to shoot the 6.
I don't like where the cue ball's going off the 6, Danny. You're going to have to do something with it to avoid running into something.
No, you can go softly. You won't run into anything. Let's see what he decides.
I like this.
He's going to cut this ball in.
Go to the 3 next.
Or the 7.
Yeah.
7's a good ball to get out of there.
Yeah, I like playing the 7, and then either the 4 or the 5, and 5-4 or 4-5. And if I could get straight in on the 3 in the corner with a stop shot, it's 3 stop, 6 stop, 8 in the side. It's really a question of how steep he is on this.
Yeah, he's even considering the 7 last before the 8, I believe.
Oh, I don't think so.
You don't?
No, it's too hard to get to. I mean,
Well, the 3 would get you there.
yeah, okay, I see that, but
Well, it depends if you feel like you can miss this 7.
yeah. I don't think he's worried about missing the 7 here at all. I think what he's worried about is
Cue ball control.
am I going to have a shot on, can I play for a 2-way? I can get on the 5 or the 4. And that's what he did.
Yeah, he looked at this angle a little while ago.
Right, but he knew if he got partially hooked on the 4 here, he could play the 5, and if he didn't and could play the 4, then again, of course, it's pretty much over from there. The caution here he needs is the angle on the 4 where he won't run into the 15. Kind of stop. Right.
Yeah, he's fine.
Right. Now, I think he can just draw this at the 3. I don't think he needs to do much more than that. Go like 3 feet towards the 3 ball.
I don't think you can go wrong whatever you do here. Perfect. Well, he's in danger of getting on the hill.
Eight ball. Mr. Appleton is on the hill.
You know, what we want to also do for a quick second here is offer congratulations from everybody here at the Accu-Stats crew to Darren and Angie on their wedding, which was in August of this year. So we want to wish them well. Congratulations to both of them. Angie is here. And I think Darren told me that they didn't have time for a honeymoon because there was just too much on his schedule, and they were still waiting to hear about Moscone Cup and all of that. So I think, if I remember correctly, Darren told me they're going to take a honeymoon after the Moscone Cup. Well, let's see what the break gods have in store for Mr. Django here. He needs some help to stay alive in this match.
I don't know. I didn't hear anything fall.
No.
Got a lot of action on the break, but nothing found a hole. I mean, looking at it, I don't think there's an easy layout. You know, it ain't going to be a connect the dot kind of thing. But I think you got to shoot the high ball.
See, now I think the solids are better only because you've got a nice opening shot on the 6. And if he can get anywhere near the 9 ball to shoot the 7, he can bump the 1. I mean, he could shoot the 7 right now. I see your point with the solids,
Well,
with the
I
stripes.
think they're
I mean,
about even.
yeah, I think they're equally difficult. The problem with the stripes is the 14. It has no pocket except where he's standing. And how do you get there?
6 ball.
He's shooting the solids
Yeah.
like you called. Got to get the 2 out of the way so the 3 passes.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think he's trying to plan how to get to the 7. And I think he'd like to almost leave the 2 as insurance. But he may be forced to play it now.
Yeah.
And then he'll wind up using the 4 on the side as the insurance once he shoots the 7 and either moves the 1 or the 15.
Is he going to go into the 3 right now? No. That's a quick answer.
That's not where he wanted to be.
No, he didn't get good at all here.
I really wonder what he was trying to do with inside English there.
Well, the way we surveyed the layout, both looked a little confusing. This proved it, but I don't know if he can get the angle on the 5 to go 2 rails to the 1 or 7. That's the angle he needs. But then he's got the 3 to work with, too. It's a tricky layout
It's
here.
tough now. It's definitely tough now. And he also knows how close he is to closing out the match.
Shooting it in the side to get the angle on the 5. Oh, now he's got better. He can get rid of the 3 and get the angle on the 5.
If he could avoid hitting the 8, he could go forward 1 rail at the 9 ball to get to the 7. But I don't know if he can miss the 8.
No, I think you want
I'd leave the 5 as the last ball before the 8. I would try to get to the 7 now.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, where are you going to get a better angle?
I think try to fall on the 5 right now to go 2 rails to the 1 and 7.
Going to the 9 ball. And if he goes too far, he's got the 1.
Well, he went too far.
Yeah, I think he was actually trying to hit the 9.
That was his target.
Yep.
Well, like we said to start with, this rack was not an automatic connect the dots mat. So anyway, he's still at the table, which is good. He's on the hill, and he's at the table. Oh, that's not real good. It's real bad, but it isn't real good.
Yeah, but he's all in here. He's got to cut the 7. I mean, he's got to cut it in, low right.
Yeah, he knows he's not real
under
happy.
the 15. I mean, if he's lucky enough to come 2 rails and bump the 8 or bump the 12, but he's absolutely got to shoot this.
Well, mainly because he can't shoot the 5.
Well, what I'm saying is, he's got to play this with position.
Can't miss it, which he didn't, and he got good. He got good.
Yeah, it's going to be game, set, and match here momentarily. I think he's got enough of the 5 where he'll be able to miss the 14 and just spin 2 rails, play the 8 in the same pocket. He's got to watch his vest over there hanging over that 10 ball. Went for his cue extender.
It's tough to go wrong here.
Tucking his vest in to make sure it doesn't hit the 10 ball there.
Well, he doesn't like that move, so he's going to get different equipment now.
Well, actually, he went to get this extender, but he couldn't get the cap off of the bottom of his cue, so he went back to shoot, and then he looked at Angel and asked her if he still had an extension left, and she said yes, so he decided he would go over and do what he needed to do to get the thing off, getting a little help from Eddie Cohane. But nevertheless, part of the shot clock procedures here is we do stop the clock when they go to change equipment. Just an added courtesy. Not all shot clocked events do that, but again, we're player friendly here.
He overcut it, but did he go behind the 15? Yes,
course.
he did.
See now?
I liked your shot. You had to go 2 rails to that 8.
Yeah. You see how quick he got up to hit that? He was
It ain't
disgusted.
over.
He was disgusted with himself.
This match is not over yet.
One thing I will mention is that every game counts, because if we go to tiebreakers on Sunday, if we have more than 2 guys tied with the same record, and we're looking for our 2 finalists for a playoff, your overall 1-loss record comes into play. So if you lose matches 10-9, you're in a lot better shape than the guy that lost a couple 10-3 or 10-4 if you both wound up in a tiebreaker situation.
And this kind of format could very easily wind up in ties.
Mm-hmm. He's got to just watch the.
Get the bridge.
Yeah, he didn't want to go behind
Forget
his
the
back on this
tricks.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, just stop. Shoot the 14 next. Wow, he drew it all the way back. Nice.
Well, he's got good here.
Sure, good. I'd like to have these. Now the thing you gotta kind of just factor into what's remaining here is what did that hook on the 8-ball for the match do to Darren's head?
Score is now 9-7.
I mean, you know, you would think someone of that caliber should be able to shake it off and come right back, but we all know that even the greats and the Hall of Famers, they're human too.
Are they? I didn't know that.
That's what I read. I mean, it's true, but I read it somewhere.
But anyway.
But the point I'm making, obviously, is when Darren comes back to the table. I mean, did you see how quickly he just kicked at the 8-ball? He didn't care. He was pissed off at himself for doing what he did, and he gave the game up. Where when he was losing 3 or 4 to nothing, and he hooked himself on the 8-ball, he took like the full time and a little bit of an extension, and he finally kicked at it. But he gave it plenty of thought, and...
Well, I don't think it'll shatter him. He's a champion, and I'm sure he's done that before.
Well, I agree with you, Danny. It's just more of a point of observation that we've all done stuff like that. We've screwed up on the match-winning ball, and then we get a chance back at the table very quickly, and even though we were saying to ourselves, well, that's not going to bother me. I'm just going to bear down now. It's easier said than done. But at this level, they should be able to get through it. So let's see what happens. Let's watch the 15 in the side. See that? Cue ball right in the side pocket. Now, I'm not saying it's fate or pool gods or anything like that, but he had broke 4 or 5 times in a row perfectly, making the ball in the side again like he just did. But I think he still had a little bit of anger in him.
Let me tell you the math here. We could have a time match here.
Yeah, he gets out and breaks and runs. Yeah. The only salvation Darren has is he has the break if it goes hill, having won the lag.
Right now, he'd accept that.
I think he'd be happy. Well, he's definitely going to get a chance at the table. Whether it's breaking in case game or earlier is to be seen. But he will come back to the table.
I like the pattern he chose here. Leave the 7 to get to the 8 last.
Mm-hmm.
No problem with the 2, 6, and 1.
You know, the only thing, Danny, is leaving the 7 for last. You better be pretty darn straight in on it.
Well, it's pretty easy
and
to do
that's
where
not
the
going
balls
right.
are.
It shouldn't be any trouble. I know he's looking at playing it now, and I don't blame him. I'd like to be able to get rid of it now because I got all that room off those other 4, but he can't because
you would never get better on the 3.
He can't get a better shot than he has right now. I agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
Take it now. Not going to have any problem getting straight in on the 7.
No, not now he won't. He shouldn't. He would have liked to have been off the cushion a little bit more.
You're right, because he could
he's
have drew the ball.
Yeah. Now he's got to come 2 rails on the other side. Oh, he was straighter than it looked, Danny.
Oh, he's perfect
Sure.
now.
Oh, yeah.
7 ball.
He even got an angle now to get off the cushion. Pop it in, bounce a little. Oh, he
Right.
tried to go to the corner. He did, but it's a little bit tougher than the other shot. Yeah, I wouldn't have done that. There we go.
Okay, 9-8. Francisco breaking. This is a pretty good way to start this Make It Happen event with a match like this, where at 4-0 we thought we'd be out of here in about 45 minutes.
And then with 10-6.
And then Darren went 7 games in a row. And then he was ahead 9-5 or 9-6, and now here we are with a potential for a hill. So maximum 2 more games.
Yeah, right now, this match is a toss-up. But the big advantage is Darren gets the final break, hill.
Mm-hmm.
That's how important it is to win the first leg. You can't foresee it, but it can happen. Well, Bustamante hasn't had any good fortune on his last 2 breaks.
That's right, he's broken dry his last 2 times. Let's see if he makes any type of an adjustment here, either with cue ball position or speed.
Control the cue ball first.
He put a little bit more oomph into him, and he made 2 balls.
Uh-oh. Well, we got a little problems here. The 2-14 are a little bit tied up.
Not an issue if he can take stripes, because he can shoot the 12 ball
The
and
12.
follow up and shoot the 14 over here
Yeah.
where he's standing. So I think the 15 is the shot.
Yeah, he's got to take the stripes.
And it looks to me, Danny, like that 11 will pass by the 7 in the upper right. If it does, then all those 4 stripes are going to play real easy.
Yeah, we're looking at hill, I believe.
It sure looks that way. I would be very surprised if he doesn't complete this out, especially if that ball passes the 7. And it must.
Got to get straight in on this 12. Not now. Oh, he got funny here. Oh, wait, the 10 goes, doesn't it?
Sure.
Oh, he's fine then.
Well, he may have to take a little longer shot on the 12, depending on this angle.
Doesn't matter because it's automatic position.
Exactly, right.
Yep.
And then again, I'd actually almost want to stop the cue ball about where he's going to hit the 13. So he's got the angle on the 14 there. He doesn't mess with the 2.
Yeah, he's fine.
Stop it right there. Yep. 9 goes in both corners.
Yep. And we're looking at one of Pat Fleming's Race to 1 tournament.
Yes. 2 rails, 9 in the same pocket. Nice shot.
9 ball.
Well, Danny, if we knew this was going to happen, why didn't they just play 1 rack?
You're right. Right.
You
Well,
know.
we wouldn't have had much film. No one would buy the tape with one game.
Well, it would have been inexpensive.
Here we go, hill. And now,
What a tremendous way to open this event up with a hill match between 2 of the all-time greats. One guy opens with 4 games in a row in alternate break. Then the next guy comes back with 7 in alternate break.
well, the people like it because it's equal torture.
We're equal opportunity torturers here, right?
Yeah.
We're going to run maybe 5 or 10 minutes longer than, of course, the allotted. We started a few minutes late and we had the timeout and et cetera. But after this rack, we'll have a little short time to let our incoming players each hit a rack or two. And then we'll get underway with Alex and Earl. When their match is done, we'll have a dinner break and resume at 7 with Mika and Shane.
Oh, you're one of those guys that eats every day?
Sometimes multiple times in a day. You know, it's funny, you commented earlier, and it just always does strike me. We were talking about identifying people with one name. You say Alex, you know who it is. You say Efren, of course, you know who it is. But we've now got maybe 20 or 30 players at the upper echelon of this game where only one name needs to be said, and you know who you're talking about. And
yeah, but we have a lot of Shanes.
Yeah, but when you say Shane, you usually are only going to think about one guy first.
Yeah.
You're not going to... He took a little off. He made his ball in the side again, and he made another stripe, but you could clearly see that he backed off his speed and concentrated on the solid of the hit.
And he made 3 balls, I believe.
Darren has asked Cosmo to just leave the balls on the magic rack rather than try to mark them or move them. Excuse me, not a magic rack, the racking device from Outsville. If there's an official name for that, I will... okay. There is an official name for it.
The Accu-Rack.
It's the Accu-Rack.
I like that.
You know, I like too, and of course I don't think we'll be using it here, although you did at the U.S. Open, and it was really neat to see, is the rack track. Oh, we are going to use it starting next set, the rack track. Some of you are sure familiar with that, and if you're not, when it comes up, we'll explain it to you. This is all about getting on the 4-ball. He's got to also open the 5. The 5 may go in the upper left, but this was about getting on the 4, and you couldn't put it with your hand any better than that. He doesn't like it. He maybe he wanted to open the 8 off of this. Maybe the 8 doesn't pass the 15, Danny.
I don't think it does.
And to play it in the side where he's standing, the 15's taken up all of the space that he needs. So that's why he was a little disappointed where he wound up, because he looks like he's too straight to move the stripe or the 8.
Well, you don't want someone to just play tic-tac-toe and run out on the hill.
Not in the case
you want
game.
them to suffer a little. I saw Alex Pagalang get up to see if the 13 passes anywhere, or whatever that is, the 15.
The one near the 8?
Yeah. Yeah,
Darren's
folks,
in his extension period here, I believe.
he is.
Which means he should get a verbal 10-second warning from Angel if he's not down on his shot at 10. All right, he just got his 10. Now, he can let the clock go to 0 as long as he stays down and doesn't come up off the shot. That's fine.
Well, he's going to have to do something spectacular with the 8.
Or figure out how to get around where that 15 is.
You know, it's not going to be easy. hill, it gets tougher.
I wonder if he's going to shoot. Nah, he's got to shoot the 3 now. I thought he might leave it to the end and then try to open the 8 and 13 up off that, but he can't afford to risk missing a long shot.
He's drawing it. He tried to hit the 8. I think he tried to hit the 8 there.
I think he did too.
Well,
now he's got to figure out a way to get the cue ball where the 15 ball is, or somewhere near that vicinity. So let's see if that possibility exists. The first thing I think is does the 5 pass the 9 in the upper left?
I'm not sure of that either.
If it doesn't, it's only going to go in the side where he's standing. All right, here's a camera shot, and it does look like it goes.
Looks like
he's going to need to be kind of near it, but he can get about where his wristwatch is.
Yeah, the 1 will get him there. Oh, he don't want to shoot it now.
No. He's going to. That's where he wants the cue ball after the 1, so he can cut the 5 and then either go at the 15 for the 8 or go at the 8. Either way, there's a lot of risk involved here after he pockets this ball.
Yeah, the 8's not sitting good.
And he's got to get the right angle so he can avoid the side pocket and still hit the cushion and come where he wants to go. Plus now he's going to have to get his bridge because he can't stretch and lean over those balls and risk a clothing foul. So he has screwed on the extender to his cue.
It's only the first match, but it could mean the whole tournament right here.
Just past the diamond. That's good.
Yeah, he's got an angle, but I don't know. It's not going to be easy.
There's several ways to go here.
Well, whatever way, I wouldn't gamble on snookering myself. I'd rather take a cut on the 8 and the side than try to get perfect. Let's see what he decides.
Well, he's going straight at the 15 with the cue ball, which I think is the correct way to go. If you hit the 15 anywhere but on the top side and don't slide anywhere, you should have a look at the black ball.
Yeah, but you could get snookered, too.
Sure you could.
Well, I said it. Take the cut on the 8 now.
He might consider banking it, too.
Oh, I don't think so.
No? Okay.
I don't think so. Much easier to see the hit on the thin cut.
But you know what? You can't baby this just because of the Accu-Rack, too. You've got to make sure that, it gets right off of there.
Oh, I don't know. This ain't real good.
No, I mean, it's not real good,
But it's better than snookering yourself. So, a little while ago, he snookered himself, had to kick. He's a shot maker. Hope it doesn't skid.
That's why I said he's got to hit it. It's kind of firm. He overcut it. No, he didn't. He made it.
He won it because he was thinking straight. Take the cut instead of snookering yourself.
What an outstanding match that was.
Yeah.
An outstanding out in the final rack. So, folks, we're going to take a brief time out here, and we'll be back with you with Alex and Earl. So stand by for that.